internet, and welcome to the C Show. This is Riddler saying, "What the fuck, Luna Vashon?"
We are live from the studio apartment. Oh wait, that's the wrong podcast. I'm Liquidation. Hi.
Da 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 da. This is.
Are you doing the dance?
Rock God. And Ali, our sound engineer.
I'm too tired to be random.
Too tired to be random. Oh, you. Okay. Well, we're reviewing Raw, 15th of April, and turns out I'm the only one who liked it.
Hmm.
So this is going to be an interesting review.
I'm surprised you liked it, to be honest.
I'm surprised. There were some things I didn't like, but the show as a whole, I thought was all right. It was just the crowd was like the worst part of the show.
Wasn't this crowd the worst crowd ever?
It was the worst crowd ever.
Well, honestly, I don't blame the crowd for being dead for a good portion of it.
I blame them for being dead in some of the segments, like the punk segment and the Fandango segment.
This crowd is just, I don't see why they bought tickets to this show. They just weren't from beginning to end. They were just dead.
Are we
the whole
supposed
show.
to cheer? Oh no.
I think the punk segment, although they were pretty much then, wasn't that like the most riled up they actually got?
Yeah, I thought the most riled up they got was the Fandango segment, actually. When after he actively made.
I think the most riled up they get was like towards the beginning of the show. The punk segment, punk segment. Cena coming out.
No, not even Cena coming out. They weren't really even bothered with that. And that was, you usually get the big mixed reaction, whoa, boo, with the cheers, and you get Cena sucks and all that.
I thought it seemed like a decent.
No, dude. To me, it was just like, oh, yay, Cena's here, woo. But this crowd was the worst crowd. But Raw opens up with a look back at last week when Cena faced Mark Henry and was attacked by Ryback. And we get a teaser that tells us that Ryback will reveal the reason he attacked Cena later on tonight. And CM Punk will also address his loss to The Undertaker. And then we get the exact same match we got last week with Randy Orton and Sheamus versus Big Show.
No, last week it was just Randy Orton versus Sheamus.
I know, but
on SmackDown it was Randy Orton versus and Sheamus versus the Big Show.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I must have missed that. I missed part of SmackDown last week, though.
Yeah, it was the exact same match we got on SmackDown. Literally, if you saw it on SmackDown, you saw the exact same match that we got on Raw, and if you saw it on Raw, you saw the exact same match they got on last week's SmackDown. There's really no point in recapping this. Randy Orton and Sheamus win.
It's a decent match.
Orton won with the.
It really wasn't.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was a decent.
I thought it was okay.
It was a decent match. Shame I'd already seen it. The week before.
Well, the thing is, you say it's a decent match, but if I don't care about what happens in the match, then it's not a decent match.
No, it was a decent match last SmackDown.
No, I didn't care then. Why would I care about it? Why would I be interested in watching this?
Well, because you've lost all hope in Sheamus and Randy Orton. That's probably why you're not interested.
Were you interested? You haven't lost all hope in Randy Orton and Sheamus already?
I've lost all hope in Randy Orton, but there's still that smidgen of hope for Sheamus. And the fact that
if Sheamus turns heel,
Isn't this the weird thing? I'm actually starting to like Randy Orton right now.
What is wrong with you? Go and get yourself checked by a doctor now.
You can kind of go fuck yourself.
He actually is showing a little bit more emotion than he has in a long time.
So he went from 0 to 0.1.
0.01.
Oh, sorry, 0.01. That's an improvement, all right. I give you that. So yeah, Randy Orton wins with the RKO. Big whoop. I saw this match on SmackDown. That's why I didn't care about it. We get a look at
And it wasn't a very good match then, so...
We get a look at Friday SmackDown where the Shield beat down 3MB in front of Triple H. And Josh Matthews is backstage, and just the balls on 3MB. The figure.
I love 3MB.
The absolute balls on this team. They come back from the break, and 3MB's in the ring talking about what happened on SmackDown. And Drew McIntyre demands that they come out and hand them a handwritten apology. And then Brock Lesnar's music, of all people's music, hits. And he comes up with Paul Heyman and does an F5. Is it Slater or is it McIntyre that he lays out with the F5 on top of the barricade?
That was Slater. He did it twice. And he hit him, and he did the F5 on Slater's legs.
Yeah.
I was surprised it wasn't McIntyre, because it's normally McIntyre.
It is normally McIntyre. That's why I was making sure it was Slater, because it's normally McIntyre.
Man, it's bad when you're the jobber out of 3MB, though.
Yeah, and Heyman's pleading with Lesnar to stop because he's gonna do it again, and a portion of the crowd chants one more time, not a lot. It's like the first few front rows, and Lesnar smiles at them and backs off and enters the ring with Heyman. And Heyman gets on the mic and says he warned us last week that Lesnar was ready for a fight with Triple H. Heyman says Triple H did what, and like he says something that, you know, he says he was ready for a fight, and tonight that Brock Lesnar sent a message to everyone. And at first I was thinking, what? He wanted to fight 3MB? I was like, that'd be a weird match. And like, what a step down from Triple H. But somehow Brock Lesnar coming out and attacking 3MB was a message to tell us all that he wanted Triple H to fight, which made no sense.
Well, I think it was more that he was just sending a message to the WWE at large that no one can touch him apart from Triple H. I think that's what his name meant.
Okay.
I think that's what.
I think it's just the way he worded it. I was confused. I was like, what? You beat him?
Yeah.
No. Paul said he's sending a message to the. He was sending a message to the WWE universe or something.
But it's by beating 3MB? You could have, you know, I'd have understood if it was like the Shield. If the Shield came out and then you came out and no. Heyman says Triple H did what nobody else in the world could do. He knocked out Brock Lesnar. Actually, I'm pretty sure everyone else in the world could knock Brock Lesnar out.
My fat ass could knock Brock Lesnar out.
I think the people...
I'm pretty sure that Brock Lesnar has already been knocked out in his MMA career.
Yeah.
Just give me a super soaker full of chloroform and I can do it.
Now, I'll give you this. He said at WrestleMania, but even then, in a sense, the crowd technically knocked out Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania because the way they reacted at WrestleMania 20, he may as well have been unconscious. So,
yeah, I think let's be fair, the crowd was like the second most excited for that match.
Yeah. Heyman says this makes Triple H a warrior, a fighter, a man of admiration.
God, I love you guys being assholes, man.
Man of admiration. I'm sorry, but a warrior, maybe. A fighter, I can see that. But a man of admiration, really? Triple H? I think he's one of the most hated men on the roster.
Well,
I said one of the most. One of the most loved men by the fans, but in the business, he's one of the most hated.
Well, I don't know whether he's one of the most hated. He's most hated by the guys that don't want to suck his dick.
No. Well, yeah. Well, would you really want to? Well, actually, no. You're a Triple H fan, Nathan. You probably would want to suck a dick.
Nah.
Nah. That short hair doesn't do it for you.
Nah, if he had the long hair, maybe. If he had that raven long hair.
Why the fuck did he cut his hair? I mean, that's a desk job haircut, if I ever saw one.
Because he's got a desk job?
Because he's got a desk job, yeah. Heyman says he would shake Triple H's hand and tell him he respects him for what happened at WrestleMania. What, giving us one of the most hilarious matches of all time? Yeah, that's what it was. The fans started chanting for Triple H, and by the fans, I mean a portion of the fans, maybe like 1/10. And Heyman says Lesnar doesn't feel the same way. He says they are now 1-1, and there can be only one dominant alpha male in WWE. And basically, and Heyman challenges Triple H to a steel cage match, but the way he words it before announcing it's a steel cage match, you'd think it's like one of the most epic, like he's like, it's tear the skin from the bone, bleeding profusely. It's hard to get extreme. It's a steel cage match. Oh, okay.
What I would have thought would have been better, because he was like, well, if you get knocked out, it doesn't matter. I thought he was going to say an I quit match.
I thought he was going to say last man standing.
Yeah, either I quit or last man standing I was thinking of.
But no,
it's a steel cage match.
Steel cage match. No.
As far as like this feud it seems like as in terms of how dangerous the match sound, the match stipulation sounds, it's like they've been going backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, once upon a time.
Well,
They started with an Extreme Rules match, then they went to No Holds Barred, now a steel cage.
I'd say steel cage match is a bit more lethal than a no holds barred. I mean, steel cage match, it's still steel cage. It's a dangerous match.
The final match.
It is a dangerous match, but it really, I've never. How long?
That'd be funny if like
matches usually end up being on TV.
I was gonna say
never that dangerous.
It'd be really funny that like every match they do gets more and more tame, and it's like the final match singles with disqualifications and count out. No.
So a normal match then. No, it's not a normal match.
To be honest, I think Brock Lesnar would hate that. What? I can't just hit people? No!
And Heyman accepts the challenge for Triple H, and we go to replays, and then
what I'm saying though is like as far as steel cage match, most of the ones that we've seen in, the ones that I can think of in recent memory have never been like super dangerous matches.
That's true. It's just problem with WWE and the steel cage match is back in the day, steel cage match, you're like, oh shit, steel cage match, this is serious business, this is careers are on the line here. And then, oh, we're gonna introduce Hell in the Cell. Ooh, we're gonna introduce Elimination Chamber. Ooh, we're gonna introduce this. Ooh, we're gonna introduce that. And now whenever it's like, it's a steel cage match, player, and we're just like,
It's okay.
To be honest, I think the last steel cage match where I actually thought someone was like, going to be actually in any pain was the one where Big Show threw JB off the top and like he won by like crawling from under the ring because he broke the ring he was thrown into it. Remember that match?
Yeah, I remember. That was awesome.
It was a shitty match, but
that spot was awesome. The match was but we go to the U.S. title match, and the only reason I can think why it went down, the only reason I can think why it went down the way it went down is they might be putting Cesaro in the Money in the Bank match, and they don't want him home.
Yeah, I gotcha. I could say that. Yeah. No, yeah. I think that Cesaro's getting jobbing out now, though.
I want to know what led whoever it was in the back that came up with this. Maybe it was Vince. Maybe it was creative. Maybe it was Cesaro himself. But who thought yodeling was a good idea?
I like it. It's funny.
It's annoying as fuck.
But one thing that it does annoy me though, because Bret Hart has come out and started mourning again. Surprise, surprise. But this time I actually agree with what he said. He said, it might not have been the best back in my day, but at least I got to be me. Now it's sort of right. You're going to be a dancer. You're going to be this. You're going to be that type of thing. This screams of that. You're going to be a yodeler now. Oh, okay. Rather than them coming to Vince.
Yeah,
hey,
I
I want
totally agree.
Because, there might have been stuff that didn't work then, but, At least it was them.
Yeah. The match was,
The match was... I thought this match was... This was good. This is pretty damn good.
It was a pretty damn good match, yeah. Cesaro...
I don't know, I don't like R-Truth as I think it's much better as a heel.
What you're about? This was Kofi Kingston.
Oh, Kofi Kingston. Shit. I was thinking later match.
Thinking
Kofi Kingston and R-Truth right now are basically interchangeable because they haven't let Truth actually say anything.
But, yeah, this is not the match. I just didn't like the way it ended. Kofi nails the Trouble in Paradise for the...
Honestly, I liked the counter that ended the match, but I don't like the fact that Kofi... I don't like the fact that Kofi won on TV. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I don't really have an issue of Kofi winning the title that much.
It's on TV. It's on TV.
I think that's the biggest problem is that, like, the IC title and the US title, it seems that they always seem to give those titles away on TV instead of pay-per-views, and it would give the titles more prestige if they had the title change happen on a pay-per-view.
I understand.
Why was this match not at WrestleMania if they were going to have them drop the title?
It would have made more sense to me actually to have this is like the WrestleMania pre-show, because I mean the way they handled that IC title change, that was terrible. They could have done like US for the pre-show and did like the IC title on Raw if they didn't have enough time for it, but no, we're gonna do IC title 2 days in a row, the same match, and we're just gonna give it to Wade Barrett on Raw. Like if they did, they could have done US WrestleMania. Yeah.
But the other, I mean, I will say that I'm not against a title change happening on TV. It can be a nice surprise. It's just that you should.
You think it's a pay-per-view thing? You think it's a pay-per-view thing?
Yeah.
Some titles, I think.
Look, why don't they replace one of the current thingy titles with a TV title?
That'd be nice.
Because the US title right now, I think that needs.
I'm afraid that the thing is, I'm afraid that if they do that, they'll end up doing the same thing TNA does and just ending up defending that one of pay-per-views instead.
It's true.
There's very few companies that know how to do a TV title right. ECW did it right, but
so many of these titles are just dead right now.
Yep. US title, IC title's gone back down the drain.
Divas title, WWE Championship.
What do you mean dead? That started out dead. It never even had a chance to live.
Well, yeah, but WWE Championship. Right now, I'd say World Heavyweight Championship too, which I'll explain later on.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the World Heavyweight title's been dead ever since 18 seconds.
God, they've got. The thing is, they have so much promise with this roster.
So we come back from commercial.
Riddler, you were saying that the WWE title has been dead ever since it...
Not the WWE, the Divas.
Oh, the Divas title, never mind.
No, WWE title hasn't always been dead. No, the Divas has. for the women's championship if they kept that around. And no. But they decided to go with Divas, and that was dead from the very get-go. So, back from a commercial, we see footage from last week of Dolph Ziggler cashing in to become the World Heavyweight Championship, one of the awesome, out to goddamn times, if I say so myself. He deserves the WWE title. That's a whole other thing. WWE shows the match when Ziggler came out to win, and we come back from commercial, and that just shows you how smart this crowd is when they're booing the man, and the week before he got probably the biggest pop in the fucking world.
Well, see, it's fair booing, but there was
also, he got a very mediocre, again, this, like you said, like this crowd, I will agree, this crowd overall sucked, and he got a very lackluster reaction coming out.
The crowd sucks.
I mean, if he's gonna get booed, fine. I don't
mind
that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But the fact that it's just the reaction was again just really quiet.
It was the worst crowd I've seen and heard in a long time. Where was this held? This was held in South Carolina. That might explain why.
It was just
Greenville, South Carolina.
This crowd is...
Greenville? Okay, there's your problem right now. Fucking Greenville? Who the hell has even heard of Greenville?
Greenville?
Greenville heard of Greenville? Look, it's in South Carolina. South Carolina, to me, ain't known as one of those places where people love wrestling.
No. Not at all.
No. So, you think of places, you think like New York, Britain, Canada, Chicago, South Carolina. Nope, that didn't come to mind.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised the crowd even bothered to show up.
I'm surprised it fucking sold out.
Why?
He says it was, so Ziggler talked about cashing in. He says it was the single greatest moment in Raw history. You good, Ziggler? I don't know if you're that good to say that was the greatest moment in Raw history. There's been some great moments in Raw history, but you're damn good. It was a good moment. He says there's never been a world champion as charismatic and athletic as he is, Ric Flair. What about Ric Flair, Sigma?
Okay, wait. I've got one. I know.
Ric Flair was never that athletic. No.
Holding Raw in South Carolina is like holding a bar mitzvah in Nuremberg.
I'm not saying Ric Flair was never an athlete, but Dolph Ziggler is much more athletic.
I was thinking on the charismatic side, really, for Ric Flair. But yeah, that's your point. He says he's just too good. He doesn't care if the fans boo him. He says he shows off because he's better than everyone else and backs it up every night. Agreed.
And well, I mean, him saying there's never been one as charismatic as athletic. He's a heel. So he's supposed to say that.
I know.
I'd even say CM Punk, to be honest.
I know. I'm just
maybe not on the athletic side. I don't know. That one's close.
But yeah, but again, I like putting logic into. I like putting logic into things. Okay, even when they have none. I realize this. Okay, so Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez come out, and both of them are selling leg injuries as they head to the ring. And Del Rio says he wants his rematch tonight on Raw. Ziggler laughs it off, but out comes Vicky Guerrero and starts the match. And we get
I was honestly surprised as hell to see Del Rio come on. I honestly expected them. I expected them to be way too damaged to be able to come out. But I guess technically he never really broke his ankle. So.
Yeah, but remember, Del Rio has been booked as the fighting champion who would come out if they had a broken ankle as well.
Yeah, Del Rio's limping around, but the match is starting, and Swagger's music hits, and out he comes before anything can happen. Coulter says Ziggler wouldn't be champion without Swagger. He says Ziggler doesn't deserve to be champion, and Del Rio doesn't deserve another shot. And then Swagger enters the ring. Del Rio attacks and sends him down to the floor. Then Big E gets in between Del Rio and Ziggler, and Swagger puts Del Rio down and slams his into the ring post repeatedly. Swagger beats up Del Rio and then applies the Patriot lock, and then the officials finally break up Swagger.
I just kind of wish they would decide on one number one contender. I know it's a bit of a weird thing to say, but I would prefer one number one contender.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Nathan.
Because there are too many people vying for that title right now. Why don't you have some of these guys go for the titles that need it? You know?
Yeah.
Both of the mid-card titles are really desperate for people, you know, who with actual...
Yeah, I see.
With some steam behind them to carry the title.
The IC title deserves something, you know. It's something that's been around as long as it has, and once upon a time...
in my opinion, if they're having Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton feud, why don't they just give them one of those titles and have those three feud around that?
Mm-hmm.
That made more sense to me.
Mm-hmm. It's just all about the WWE title now these days, which is sad. And we see Kane and Debra.
What about the WWE title though? Who gives a fuck about that title though?
WWE.
Who?
WWE.
Who in WWE?
Vince McMahon.
Damn it, Vince.
We see Kane and Debra.
Do they really give a fuck about that title? Honestly, I mean, again, I'm saying it. I've said it before. Say it again. The WWE title doesn't. They don't care unless Cena's holding it. It's not important. It loses importance in lieu of whatever the hell Cena is doing, even if he doesn't have it. And the only time it gains any importance is if he's holding it or the guy he's facing is.
I can't wait for Cena to retire. I know it's going to take like a million years, but damn, I want that to happen. Just so they're forced to like, you know, give other people the spotlight.
Why do you Hold on, Nathan, why do you think they've got Ryback and Sheamus there?
They aren't giving him any of the... They aren't even giving them the spotlight.
Do you really think they're not going to use them as Cena backups the moment Cena retires? You really don't think that?
I didn't say that, but...
Exactly. Your hopes and dreams are never going to come to fruition, because they've got backups in the wings for the day that Cena goes. We will always have a Cena, even if it isn't actually Cena.
I can't wait for Vince to retire. Oh wait, but then Triple H is gonna get.
So we get the
and Linda will still be in charge of it.
I just honestly, as much as I don't think the guy deserves for this to happen, you know, in a way, honestly, Cena kind of needs to get injured.
No.
I just think he needs to take.
He really does. He really does. It would be good for him in one respect, because he would finally get a break, and also that's what needs. Retirement would take too long. Injury could happen a lot sooner, and that's what an injury that would actually. It would need to be a significant injury that would actually completely prevent him from, wrestling on the card. That's when you're going to see WWE actually start to make some moves and maybe finally realize we put too much stock in the Cena. We need to start, making headway on these other guys.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. Like I said, they've got guys in the wings that they're just waiting for the day when it happens, when they're like, okay, I'm the new Cena.
I don't know how many times I have to explain that we don't need a guy in this company.
Good luck. Good luck trying to make that point across.
Damn it, I'm going to get into the wrestling business just to kick Vince McMahon in the balls. Just, you want a job? Boot? No.
I just don't understand why Vince and the other writing team is not capable or just doesn't seem to want to make multiple main eventers. The Attitude Era had this. Not just the Attitude Era. The Ruthless Aggression Era had it. There is no reason why you can't have more than one guy as your top guy. You can have more than one top guy.
So the primetime jobbers go up against Kane and Debray.
How many times are the primetime players going to get a tag title shot?
How many times are they going to get beaten by the tag team champions?
I know they get beaten every time, but still, they're getting a shot at the
tag titles because I don't think it was.
It wasn't for the tag title.
I know, but they get shots against the tag champions all the time. I just kind of feel like they should use another tag team because it seems like they're using the same tag team.
This was a squash match, by the way.
What? And I got into an argument.
At least Kane and Daniel Bryan can put on an entertaining squash match.
This is true, but I got it was great. I was in an argument with someone on YouTube, and they were saying that people who say that the primetime players are exactly the same as crime time are racist.
What?
I will say there'd be there. I will say it seems that the primetime players are being treated just about as well as crime time.
They are the exact same as crime time.
They are crime time. There's no difference.
Even if they were white and they were doing this shit, they'd be the exact same as crime time. It's nothing to do with race.
I know. It's like, cause I just replied to him saying, millions of dollars, money, yeah. Do you need anything else? And then he basically said to me, well, yeah, but saying that is like saying that, JBL and Stone Cold both drink booze, so they're the exact same character. To which I responded, well, there's a big flaw to that, which is, that is money, yeah, and that is all that is with, the primetime players and crime time. Stone Cold and JBL had quite a lot more character than that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If that guy is listening, you're a moron. You have no idea what racism actually is. Because if he...
See, I think that he thought he was entitled to an opinion with this. The wrong opinion. I think he kind of thought that he was. Yeah, I think that he kind of thought he knew what he was talking about because he's black.
Oh, okay. Well, dude, we're not racist. You
also, if you've grown up in the a middle class section of a rich city your entire life, you don't know what it's like you don't know what racism is.
Yeah, you obviously have no idea what racism is, because if these were two white guys going around doing millions of dollars, they'd still be crime time. It'd be white crime time. There'd be no difference. It's not.
So when John Cena was in the tag team.
Yeah, when John Cena was in the tag team. Hey, it's crime time.
White time, please.
They could be white, they could be black, they could be fucking rainbow-colored people for all I care. It's crime time.
Could be them yellow.
It could.
That'd be like a really shitty gimmick, but I'd find it hilarious if there was like a white crime time and they just get away with everything. Like a cop just walks up, what are you guys doing here? Nothing? Carry on.
Every time the primetime players wrestle now, I feel insane. I feel ridiculously. I feel this huge amount of pity for them because they've become the jobber tag team mainly because of something mainly because of a person that was attached to them, and that's not their fault.
Meh.
I know. I think the primetime players could be good, which is the annoying thing.
Yeah.
If they were given more, I think they could do something with it.
The only reason this match was even here was so that they could announce that Undertaker and Team Hell No will face the Shield on next week's Raw from England. So
I'm surprised that it's going to be like Undertaker's doubling his workload here.
I know, man. Jesus Christ, 2 matches a year. Are you okay, Undertaker? Are you sure you're going to be able to do this?
Punk's match didn't really take it out of him that much.
I know, but
I think it was kind of designed to so he would have a bit more. He could do a bit more.
Like it was a good match, but you could tell it was kind of a lighter workload.
Yeah, but I think it was designed that way. But hopefully, just for the fact it's from England, we will have a crowd that's a million times better than the one we had this week.
Yeah, and remember that Fandango's song was #1 in the charts in England. So when Fandango comes out, he's actually going to get a big reaction.
Yeah. Wait. #1?
#1.
It's still #1?
I guess people in England are bored.
Damn! I didn't know it was #1. I knew it was big over here. I had no idea it was #1.
Yeah, it got #1 in the chart.
It just shows you how we eat shit up over here.
It just shows how fucking trollish we are.
England is trolly as fuck.
You know what? You know what? It wouldn't have surprised me if during like Maggie Thatcher's funeral in the background you just heard
Fandango's song almost played during a soccer game.
Oh.
Yeah, the Fandango and Everton had a Twitter war. which ended in Fandango saying, "Hey, if you won't play my song when you start the game, like before when your team comes out, why don't you just play it all the way through the match?"
Johnny fucking Turner, yes. I love you, Johnny C.
I like Johnny
Troll
C.
Fandango.
Shit, so good.
How do you make so many shitty gimmicks with Johnny C? I want to know your secret. If we only had Raw wrestlers here.
If only we had more Johnny C's.
Actually, his name isn't John C. It's Curtis. It's the reverse. It's Curtis John.
Yeah, but in his last gimmick, he was called Johnny Curtis. So, yeah.
So, back from the break, and we see a video of Ryback taped earlier, and I liked this. I ain't gonna lie.
This is probably the best.
Thing that I've actually liked from
this is the best promo Ryback has ever delivered in his career.
I was like, for a moment, I'm like, so like you can tell this is serious because it's just like Ryback with like a black background, and it's just a close up of him, and he's just breathing heavily. And I'm leaning in slightly, like, what the fuck's gonna happen here?
They were pulling a TNA here.
I'm like, what the fuck's gonna happen here? And then he just gives the promo. I'm like,
what do you mean? What do you mean by that, Nathan? What do you?
TNA did the exact same thing with Bully Ray like last week.
And I'm just sitting there like,
yeah. No, they did it before that. I think it wasn't.
Doesn't matter. It's a basic way of doing a promo. It's no black background close up. That's not stealing. That's been done for fucking ages.
I know.
Yeah, the difference is that WWE did it better.
I mean, fucking,
they
that was
did.
part of Undertaker's shtick for a long time, is that's how he used to do promos. He had video packages of him just with like a black background and smoke everywhere. But, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, this can't be. No way have WWE actually gotten the balls to do this. And then the promo happens, and I'm like, yes, character development. Holy hell.
His heel turn makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
I can't believe they paid attention to history. They showed video clips from the past to explain it all, and I'm like, do this more.
Yeah. And the other thing about this is, like, they made this heel turn make complete and utter sense compared to Bully Ray's heel turn, which made absolutely jack shit sense. Even though they showed segments that, even though they showed stuff,
explaining why it made sense.
Explaining why it tried. The reason
why it made sense is because
the reason why it didn't make sense is because they try to make it as this giant Machiavellian fucking scheme, but at no point before his heel turn did they ever clue the audience into the fact that he might turn heel. You can't do that.
Was the plan. That was
you can't
the plan.
fucking do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, it's stupid. I'm sorry. Because the audience doesn't. The reason I say that is because the audience doesn't fucking buy it.
I think they thought it was Bully Ray, though.
I don't know. I don't watch TNA that much, but yeah, Ryback, character development. Two things I would never actually thought I'd put in the same sentence, and yet here we are. We actually got character development. We got a heel turn for Ryback that made sense, and they actually went.
And Ryback, he was actually good on the mic.
He was good. It wasn't just him giving the usual shit. It wasn't just him clashing his teeth and talking about the food chain again. And he's saying, you know, it's like, this is a good damn promo. I liked Ryback for the first time. No complaints.
It was very surprising.
It was. And then we come back from the break and we got a recap of Brock Lesnar destroying 3MB. And we got R-Truth versus Wade Barrett.
Well, let's actually discuss what he actually says, though, in the promo. We haven't actually,
okay, well, he says Cena must be wondering why. Why, Ryback, why did you do what you did last week? And he says he had no choice after everything he's been through. He says he found himself after, Cena's greatest night in his career was at WrestleMania, and it was Ryback's worst. And he said he wouldn't let himself be starting up from the bottom of the ladder again. And he talks about Cena being a friend to him last year and giving him a title shot when John Cena was injured, and how he introduced him to the WWE Universe. And he's kept going, supported by clips from the past, which just surprised me that WWE acknowledged the past, as if they've been planning this for ages. But I doubt it. This is probably a spur of the moment kind of thing, and they're just like, look through the archives. But and he talks about every time the Shield attacked Cena, he'd been there to help, but every time the Shield attacked Ryback, Cena wasn't there. And Ryback says Cena got lucky at the Royal Rumble when he eliminated him to get the WrestleMania spot, and says that he's the biggest threat to Cena's title reign ever. Then we go to commercial.
Well, I will say that statement right there is ridiculous, because you're actually the only threat to his title, Ryback, because he hasn't had one yet.
I think he means out of all the title reigns Cena's had.
Because I was going to say this is the first one. So,
I think,
Another thing I liked about this was Ryback's the last thing he said was Ryback rules, and I'm like, ooh, I like it. Keep it as a catchphrase. It's fucking loads better than feed me more.
oh, Ryback rules? Huh?
Yeah, he said Ryback rules.
That is what you want.
Ryback rules, okay. I don't see how to...
I honestly think that it's simple, and I think it's better than feed me more.
Yeah. And, yeah, we come back and we get the match where you two kind of turned on the show, and that was R-Truth versus Wade Barrett.
Well, he's gonna have to. Well, I guess I don't see why they would keep the feed me more thing, because it's a chance that the fans do. And if he's gonna be full heel, I think, yeah, he needs a new catchphrase.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but his theme is called Meat on the Table.
Yeah, they might give him a heel theme. I don't know.
How can you make that theme more heel?
I don't know. Maybe they'll just get rid of the feed me more part. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to keep feed me more or not, because, I mean, at this point, they know, look, the fans are going to boo Cena no matter who we throw at him, so just fuck it. So, I don't know. But, yeah, this is the part where you two turned on the show, and this is R-Truth versus Wade Barrett match.
This was terrible.
It was a terrible match, I will agree.
Yes, it was.
This was bad.
Why are they doing this?
I don't know.
This is your Intercontinental Champion a week after winning the match, and you have him lose R-Truth.
I honestly thought that what they were doing with, like, giving it to The Miz and then giving it straight back to Wade Barrett, I really did think they were just trying to reset the title so they could give him a strong title run again.
Nope.
But apparently that's not what they're doing. Apparently they just went, fuck that.
Apparently they just went, fuck that shit, you're losing to R-Truth in like 2 minutes.
Remember when, like, Wade Barrett was defeating, like, Randy Orton and he was going to be in the title shot and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Leave the memories alone.
Why can't they do that again?
Okay, well, yeah, there's really nothing to say about R-Truth versus Wade Barrett, except it's so bald. So, Vicky Guerrero and Brad Maddox are backstage talking about Del Rio not being able to...
Ricky
Vicky Guerrero and Brad Maddox. Why?
No, Bricky.
Why Ricky?
No, Bricky with a B.
Why Bricky?
That's because that's what they are together. Bricky.
Bricky?
Yeah. Well, that's what Brad Maddox says anyway. When combined, they're Bricky.
I fucking love Brad Maddox. So, then Teddy Long walks in, player, and proposes Swagger versus Ziggler for the night. And are they trying to tease that Teddy Long's going to be the GM of SmackDown again? And
I think they're going to turn Booker T.
Right.
They're turning Booker T heel.
What is Teddy Long right now?
Teddy Long's position is Booker T's advisor.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Booker T's the GM, and Teddy Long's his advisor, and he makes it very clear that Booker T has no idea about this. And then Vicky and Brad, Vicky, who's been giving Teddy grief since day one, has been like, good job, Teddy. Good idea. I'm just like, are they teasing Teddy's going to be GM of SmackDown again?
I think so.
Or as you said, it could be a Booker T heel turn. I don't know. Then
I do think it's a Booker T heel turn, though.
And then we get, oh my god, why does this match exist? Great Khali and Santino versus Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow.
One good
Every
thing
time I
came from
see-
this, and that was that Great Khali and Santino didn't win.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, why?
Yeah, basically every time Khali and comes out, it's like a fucking filler segment. That's all it is.
Well, he's teaming with Santino. It's kind of obvious it's filler.
Yeah. Every time I see Khali, I want to call up Marty McFly, get into DeLorean, go back in time, and get a coat and grab a coat hanger and go into his mother's belly and finish the job.
That's a bit far, isn't it, Raptor?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Well, if I could go back in time, I would go back in time and when Carly was younger and like.
By the way, Nathan, I've been
You know,
making questions every now and then.
Of quite a normal, of quite like a normal height, I would like pay for him to get surgery, so that he wasn't gonna have gigantism entire life.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do.
Oh, that's nice of you, Nathan. That's actually really nice because gigantism that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It ended up killing Andre the Giant because he got really sick because of it.
I feel
Yeah.
the same way about Hornswoggle, for that matter.
But I've been meaning to ask you, Nathan, because we've been talking about the crowd every now and then. Tell the people at home the signs that you saw the crowd holding.
Well, at the back of the crowd, right? I just noticed this. I think it was whilst this match was going on. In fact, because I was so bored, I was watching the crowd. There was two people standing next to each other. One person had a sign saying "I'm with Owen," and there was like arrows pointing up. And then the guy next to him had a sign saying "I'm with Chris" with arrows pointing down.
Wow. Oh my god. I can't believe the cameraman actually panned to that and just immediately didn't just realize, like someone in the production booth didn't like go, oh shit, get that off the screen now.
Oh, you have a sign bad enough first. I'm with Owen, arrow pointing up. You can take multiple things from that. You think, what, up in heaven? Or are you being a sick bastard by saying you're up in the rafters with him? Because that's the double meaning I got from that kind of sign. Are you up in the rafters with Owen, or are you up in heaven with Owen? No, that's a bad enough sign itself. No, then you've got I'm with Chris and an arrow pointing down.
That just made me laugh for like 5 minutes.
I did not notice that when I watched Raw. Did not notice that because I didn't know where to look. I'm like, I'm gonna find these signs. I'm gonna find them. Where the fuck do I look?
It was like that sign was like in the middle of the arena as well. It was great.
Could not find it.
But anyway, Santino, he hits the Cobra on Sandow. Then, as Cody's on the floor, Hornswoggle tries to hit him with a Cobra, but like misses, and then Cody grabs Hornswoggle, but Khali runs out, chops him. As Santino gets distracted by this, and Santino immediately fucking no-sells the Cobra and rolls Santino up with his like I was like, yes, fucking somebody no-sold the Cobra.
Why do people sell the Cobra?
I don't know. Anyway,
It's a weird thing to actually sell.
I have no idea.
I mean, if he kind of did what Mick Foley did, and he's like used like a nerve pinch or something.
Yeah, but Cody Rhodes.
This would be a really hard transition, given what they've done to Santino with the gimmick. But I don't know about you guys, but I can see Santino as somewhat of like a Taz type style wrestler. I don't know why. I think it's the tattoos. It's like the tattoos make him seem like
before he was in WWE, he was actually like a big a suplexy guy.
So,
What's a Taz like wrestler?
Yeah, so he could totally be a Taz.
yeah, so after the match, Cody Rhodes and Sandow wins, by the way, and Lawler comes out. And I just want to know why they went with this segment after realizing how dead this crowd was. They thought this might be a good idea, but okay, he talks about Fandango's successful WrestleMania debut and how the world has been Fandangoing this past week, and he shares his video highlights and how crazy it's gone. And then out comes Fandango, and he gets a quiet reaction because this is the worst crowd in the world. And Fandango interrupts Lawler and takes the mic. He asks Lawler how his hips are doing and if he can move them. And Lawler goes back to commentary. And Fandango asks the crowd...
I love that. Hey, Jerry, can you move your hips? I'm gonna go back now.
And Fandango asks the crowd who wants to go Fandango with him. He gets a decent reaction, and he tries to get he's trying to get the crowd into this show, into him, just something. And Fandango wants the fans to pronounce his name correctly before they all start Fandangoing. And parts of the crowd try to get his theme going, but it's nowhere near as good as last week.
But it was enough that Curtis actually broke like corpse for like half a second. You could see him crack a smile.
Yeah, you saw him crack a smile. And then Fandango says it's obvious the fans can't pronounce his name correctly, so he says they can all Fandango themselves. And his music hits, and that's it.
I really enjoyed him trying to get the crowd to pronounce his name. It's the way he does it. Fun.
Well, it's kind of this kind of annoyed me because I've been like sort of I've watched a few Raw reviews and stuff since, but. Man, it was kind of bullshit how people are going on now. Like, oh, is this the end of the Fandangoing and stuff because of this crowd? And it's like, no, don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. This was a shit crowd. I think WWE failed to realize that the Raw after WrestleMania, they always fail to realize this when people get over it. It's the Raw after WrestleMania. First of all, people are hyped as fuck because it's the Raw after WrestleMania. Second of all, you've got a mixture of all kinds of wrestling fans in there, so they're crazy as fuck, most of them. And they love wrestling, and they're just the kind of crowd that'll say what the fuck they want and do what the fuck they want. Okay, and then when you go back to normal schedule, that's when you get shit crowds like this one. Because they all come from the same place, and it depends what the kind of place is. If it's like places like New York or Chicago or Britain, you'll get a good crowd. If it's places like South Carolina, you'll get this.
Well, no, you won't always get this, but most of the time you will.
Most of the time. It's just, that's it. Fandango is over in most good places. It's just South Carolina doesn't give a fuck.
South Carolina isn't a good place.
South Carolina is not a good place for wrestling.
Or anything.
Or anything. What has South Carolina given us? Answer me that, South Carolina. What have you given us? What have you given the world?
I imagine it's given some people it.
Has it given us I don't know, did they have the Klan in South Carolina?
I don't know what they have. Roxanne, you're from America. What does South Carolina actually have?
Nothing that I know of.
Oh, okay, so it's a worthless shithole.
Nothing of really that much significance. So.
People that make you feel better about yourself.
It's a worthless shithole. It's a worthless shithole. So, Jack Swagger...
well, look, at least South Carolina isn't Alabama, okay?
Yeah, and then Matt Striker's backstage with John Cena. Cena says he's not hard to find, and he's going to go into the ring later tonight, even in his yellow top, just to make it easier, so Ryback can find him. And Cena wants to meet him.
This was actually the one of the other happiest moments of the Raw for me. The reason why was for this particular interview, Cena got exactly zero fucking reaction.
Yeah, zero. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, John Cena, dead. Dead. Nothing. Not even.
I'm sorry.
No,
That's exactly what I would love for Cena for it to happen. Just I mean, Cena himself doesn't deserve it. It's the character that
Twilight
does.
zoning the crowd. Nothing.
It's German John Cena. You may as well just have like crickets in the background. That's how silent that was. Okay.
You know, literally when I look at John Cena now, all I see is just a black hole of talent.
I just see as a black.
Like, everything
yeah.
that I used to be has just sort of disappeared.
He's still a smarmy bastard every now and then.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, and he can occasionally deliver an okay promo, but it's just he's never consistently good.
Then we get Jack Swagger versus Dolph Ziggler. Why the fuck did Jack Swagger win this match?
Because they can't have the champion win a match.
Apparently they want to book a vulnerable champion, but apparently
because they're continuing.
according to online, they wanted to book a vulnerable champion, but apparently their idea of vulnerable is little bitch, you know?
You just had Ziggler win the fucking championship and you make him lose immediately?
They might make. I think they're making him miss the title.
This is the reason the World Heavyweight Championship is in the shitter. That you, Dolph Ziggler was on this humongous fucking winning streak. Then you have them win the Money in the Bank, which is bad. Let's not kid ourselves. It might be good. We want Ziggler. We wanted Ziggler to win, sure, but it reflects bad on the championship. And then you have him lose immediately. I've said it before. Get rid of the fucking World Heavyweight title. It's worthless. Exchange it for something else.
The thing is,
anything else at this point.
Go on, Nathan. What are you guys say?
This is the second match that Dolph Ziggler has had with his championship. The first one was against Jericho on SmackDown, which he won. But he won by having AJ Lee, Biggie Langston, Fandango, and Fandango's bitch around at the same time. Or with constant interference. Why are you doing this to us, WWE?
I'd have thought, after the huge, humongous pop he got after winning the title, any plans they had of booking him as a vulnerable champion would have been thrown out the window.
See, the thing is, it just doesn't work with the gimmick he's got. He's a cocky heel. You don't have a cocky heel losing matches all the time. You don't have a guy that keeps going, I'm just too damn good, being the vulnerable champion.
Okay, you have a guy like, I don't know, The Miz be a vulnerable champion, because that makes sense when he has the cowardly heel thing going on, because he had that. And you did that with him. You don't have the cocky heel doing that. That's like if you did that with Shawn Michaels. You don't do that. That's booking 101. Heel and face 101.
I was thinking that, like, I don't think he'd be like the...
Speaking of booking, the fact...
Go ahead.
Speaking of booking, the fact that you had a heel versus heel match, and regardless of... honestly, you could have had a great crowd, and unless the crowd is huge pro Dolph Ziggler, this match does not work. Heel versus heel never fucking works unless
no, heel versus heel can work.
It can.
Like, Austin Aries versus Bobby Roode.
Well, it can work, but most of the time it doesn't. It's just not something you really should do unless you have the right people, or sometimes are lucky enough to be in the right place where one of the heels ends up being face just by crowd reaction.
Maybe that's what they were expecting with this match. I don't know, but it didn't work. After the match, Swagger and Coulter are standing.
It was a decent match.
It was. After the match, Swagger. It's still Ziggler should have won. I'm sorry. He won the championship last week. You need him to look strong. He's the cocky heel, not the cowardly heel. I don't get why WWE just thinks he's a heel. We'll have him lose and look vulnerable.
Look, I get that you've got bigger guys and stuff, and they should be, they should easily outpower him. But he's not. He doesn't wrestle a power game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's like I wouldn't say
the
he's like the strongest or the fastest, but I think he would be like a really resourceful champion, especially one that like doesn't stop getting back up, even though he's just getting thrown around.
Especially when he's got AJ and.
Did Shawn Michaels not teach anyone
and Biggie with him?
Did Shawn Michaels not teach anyone in this business anything?
I guess not.
Did he not? The way that man performed not teach anyone in this goddamn industry anything. You can have a small guy outperform the big guy. You can have a small guy look strong against a dude like the Big Show or a dude like Kevin Nash.
You just have to do what like Shawn Michaels did and kind of whittle away at him the whole match.
Did that man not show you anything, Vince? Did you not learn anything from this guy?
Didn't learn anything from Shawn. Didn't learn from Benoit when he wasn't insane. Didn't learn anything from Taz. Didn't learn anything from CM Punk. Didn't learn anything from Daniel Bryan. I think the list can go on,
Ridiculous. Absolutely goddamn ridiculous. So, yeah, after the match...
That's not saying anything against the Big Show, like other people's talents. They're very talented guys, but, man,
Yeah, after the match, Swagger and Coulter are standing on the stage when Del Rio attacks Swagger from behind. He throws him into the set and Shipper kicks him off the stage. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, Del Rio uses the stage to apply a cross-arm breaker, and officials come out and break up. And
yeah, the best part of the match was after the match.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing this shit again where you're saying this match was good because of what happened afterwards.
No.
Remember that argument?
That's such bullshit. That is such bullshit. So, still to come, John Cena will confront Ryback. We go to commercial, and we come back, and we see CM Punk walking to the ring. Then we get Matt Striker backstage with Sheamus, but before the interview can begin, I want Mark Henry to do this every week. He just runs into Sheamus, knocks him down, and he's just like, "That's what I do."
That's what I do.
That's awesome.
I'm just like, hell yeah, Mark Henry, fuck you.
You know what? I hope, then when does it explain that that's going to because of what? Oh no, this is later on when they does Sheamus and Randy Orton actually come out and do anything?
No.
Oh, because later on they announced that there's going to be a tag match, which will be Big Show and Mark Henry versus Orton and Sheamus, and yeah, I hope Mark Henry, Big Show stay together.
I just love it. I hope this is something that happens like almost every week. It's just like people are giving an interview, then out of nowhere, surprise, Mark Henry. That's what I do.
Especially if it's guys like Sheamus.
Yeah.
Surprise! I thought you'd see me coming.
That's what I do.
My big red.
So,
Punk says,
so Randy, what are you thinking about your chances? Well, boom! That's what I do!
That's what I do! So, John Cena, tell me about your recent overcoming of the odds. Boom! That's what I do! So, we go to the ring, and out comes Punk with Heyman. And, don't know whether this was real emotion or acting, but, Punk did good.
Punk always does good.
Yeah, this is a really good Punk promo.
It wasn't even that long of a promo. I mean, he cuts off mid-promo and he just... But Punk comes out and he talks about, he'd been a champion for 434 days or something. 434 it was, wasn't it? 434.
Yeah. Well, what he says was, I was champion for this long, but he never was able to enjoy the ride.
Yeah. He says
Which I really like that.
Yeah, he says he was never able to enjoy the ride because he was always looking around the corner to what's next. What the next challenge was. And he says he found that challenge in The Rock. And he says he even... You were lying a bit there, Punk, weren't you?
You know why he said why he said that he did that?
Why?
Because he did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. Yes, he found that challenge in The Rock. He said he still wanted more and wanted to know what the next hurdle in his career was. He says he's never satisfied, and he always wanted bigger, and he always wanted more. And he says, well, what much bigger can I do than being champion at 434 34 days? What more could I do than beating the most electrifying man in sports entertainment?
God, Punk, I'm so surprised you didn't just burst out laughing when you said that. I would have.
I would have. I'm sorry. Can I do this promo again? I know we're live, but really?
Well, after beating the least electrifying man in all.
Beating the least electrifying man in all sports entertainment. I mean, at some point, I think he said...
At one point, Punk actually said, after I was done facing the guy that could go down as one of the greatest champions of all time or something.
No. What he said was The Rock, arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Well, maybe
I
before.
I can see that overall, somewhat, but
maybe when he was younger. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Never.
Maybe?
No.
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 Oh.
No. And
not at all?
No.
Not at all, Riddler?
No. No.
Come on.
No.
You can't even give him credit back then.
No. You can't. He's got the same stale gimmick for God knows how long. No. Just no. And he says he looked at the streak. He says he pushed the Undertaker to the limit, and fans chant for Taker, and then there's and this is basically the most the fans chanted was when they...
Well, let's be fair, it's not difficult to push Undertaker to his limit now. His limit's one match a year. So...
I know, and he's breaking that limit. He's taking a risk. Fans chant for Taker, and then there's dueling chant for Punk, and this is the most the fans have actually chanted the whole show. And Punk just kind of sits there. He hugs Paul Heyman, hands him the mic, and then Punk just walks out, and Heyman looks kind of shocked. I'm interested for when Punk comes back from resting his injuries. What's going to?
I hope he comes back as a face, because he's a really good heel and he's a really good face. But I think it's just time he did something a bit.
He prefers being
different.
A heel, though.
So when do you think? Yeah. So guys, when do you think he's coming back?
I don't know.
Let's see. What pay-per-views are coming?
I'd say maybe a couple months, maybe. Well, maybe not that long. Maybe a month.
I'd say the next, not Extreme Rules, but the next pay-per-view after that.
Let's see what list. I'm getting a list up of the current pay-per-views. Upcoming pay-per-view schedule. Let's see. Extreme Rules.
Actually, considering is Taker booked for Extreme Rules?
May 19th is Extreme Rules. Then June 16th is WWE Payback, whatever that is. And then July 14th is Money in the Bank. Maybe he comes back at Money in the Bank as a surprise entrant.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't see why they would have him go for another title run. I think it makes more sense for him to go after Taker again.
But yeah, after Extreme Rules will be a new pay-per-view, Payback. So that's interesting, I suppose. It's another. That sounds terrible. But yeah, Punk's taking a break is basically what it is with this.
Yeah, Punk's taking a break. I think he's going to be at the pay-per-view after Extreme Rules.
Well, it depends how long they can ride on this Cena thing, because
not long.
When the ratings start to go down, which won't be that long, they'll probably bring Punk back. That's what I'm going to say.
Then we get Divas match, which I did not watch.
And I did not watch.
Moving on.
And I did not watch.
That we did not watch it. Moving on.
I will say, actually, I watched. The most I did was watch the end, and that's it. And it basically all that happened was Bellas win by doing their fucking twin magic, which I'd rather like to call the Bellas did a double blow job on one of someone high up. That's why they won, not because of this.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'll show you some twin magic. Woo!
Hey, WWE,
Exactly.
WWE, give me a call when the Divas division isn't dead, and then I'll watch. How about that? So,
you'll be waiting a while, Riddler.
Yeah, well. Then we get, instead of any kind of main event match, we get John Cena and Ryback having a promo together. So the last match of Raw was a Divas match.
What? No, it wasn't just a Divas match, but it was Nikki Bella versus Caitlyn.
That was your Raw main event, ladies and gentlemen. Caitlyn versus Nikki Bella. Enjoy! So, this Ryback and John Cena promo, it was good.
It was okay.
Alright, I liked it.
I didn't. I just thought it was a bit bleh. There was a John Cena promo. Every John Cena promo, I just blank out now. It's difficult for me to tell between them.
Yeah, Cena says Ryback proved what kind of man he was last week. He says Ryback sat and waited for his back to be turned, and says Ryback's highlight reel of excuses earlier tonight was boring, because the crowd at one point chants boring, so he decides to work it into the promo to appease the fans.
Yeah. That highlight reel was boring. It was, of course, it was more boring than you, Cena.
It's totally that they weren't chanting boring for you and Ryback in the ring together, which is what you are, boring.
At least I actually think Ryback's better than Cena.
He is.
Scary.
He is. Cena understands what Ryback did last week, but doesn't like how he did it. Meh, where. Cena goes on.
I'm just gonna sanction crocodile tears here.
I'm just gonna back up the ambulance. Cena goes on and takes off his hat and shirt for a fight and tells Ryback to make the move and they're in a championship. But instead,
now at some point during this promo, they cut away, and we can see the Shield doing something. They're preparing.
I don't think they meant to capture that. Because we're supposed
I don't even remember that.
I don't even remember that either. No. Ryback leaves the ring.
Well, at one point you could actually hear the commentator say, "Did you see what we just saw?"
I didn't notice that. But yeah, he says, Cena tells Ryback to make a move, and Ryback's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll make a move in the opposite direction. And he walks up the ramp as the crowd.
Okay, I'm gonna make my move. Oh, wrong way, bitch!
Oh, I'm trolling the shit out of you, Cena. And he walks up the ramp as the crowd lightly boos. I say lightly because about 5 people do. The Shield's music hits and they appear in the crowd, which gets actual reaction from the crowd as they come in and attack Cena. And Ryback's just standing there looking. And Cena tries to fight them off but gets beat down. And they turn their attention to Ryback, but he walks to the top of the stage, looks back as the Shield hit the triple powerbomb on Cena, and the crowd asks to do it one more time as Raw goes off the air and Ryback walks to the back.
It was a decent ending, but
it was a decent.
Apart from it basically from the R-Truth match onward, this Raw sucked.
And the stuff before the R-Truth match wasn't exactly top par either.
I'm going to admit it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as last week's Raw by no means, but it was decent to me, and it interested me as to how they're taking these.
Look, last week's Raw wasn't particularly well booked either, but this Raw didn't have the crowd to make up for it.
It didn't have the crowd to make up for it, no. But for me, I like the way they're going with the stories they've set up. I like what they've done with Punk here. That could lead to something interesting when he returns. I know it's just real life. He's taking off an injury, but you could do something really good story-wise there with what you've done here. You've got Mark Henry doing That's What I Do, which is interesting. You've actually developed Ryback's character, which is more than I thought you'd ever do.
Yeah, but look, what this means is that we're going to have the same shitty Raw now, but this time it's going to be without Punk.
It was a decent Raw to me. It was interesting to say, like, I think these could go in good directions here, the stories they've got going. It just depends how they book it. This could go well, or it could go terribly flat on its face. I do realize this. But I wouldn't say this Raw sucked. I'd say the crowd sucked.
I would say it sucked.
Crowd sucked balls.
The crowd sucked as well as this Raw.
Crowd sucked a lot, but what made this Raw suck? To me, it was pretty much the same as last week's. To me, it was pretty much the same Raw as last week's poorly booked Raw.
Yeah, but as I just said, it was as poorly booked as last week's Raw, but this time it didn't have the crowd to make up for it.
Yeah, that was pretty much the difference.
So you only liked last week's Raw because of the crowd?
Pretty much. A crowd can make or break a show, dude.
I thought it was a decent Raw. That's just me.
Right, and you're entitled to opinion. It's the wrong opinion, but you're entitled to
opinion. If I think a show is decent, but I've seen worse Raws. I've seen a lot worse.
I've seen worse, but that doesn't mean this is good.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's decent. There's a difference.
Yeah,
it takes
yeah, but dude, I don't agree with you, and we're not going to change minds on this.
I'm just. By no means am I saying this Raw was good.
I just don't like the direction they're going with Ziggler. I don't like the direction they're going with the US and Intercontinental title. With another Kofi Kingston run, which is gonna suck.
No, for everything I like, yes, they've come up with something that I don't like. Hence, if it was good, the only time I call Raw good is if the crowd's awesome and if they do things that I like in it that outweigh the bad. Okay, that's what happened last week's Raw. They did a lot of good things that outweighed the poor booking, and it had an awesome crowd. This, they kind of had equal good and bad, and the crowd sucked balls, which is why I say decent. It wasn't terrible, wasn't good. It was in the middle. It's one of those Raws I will forget about as time goes on, but if I watch it again, I'll be like, that's okay. Not angry at it.
Yeah, but you won't be watching it in context when you watch it again. In the context of this, I just didn't like it. I felt like it's just the beginning of another path down.
That's a good point. I don't know. But then, that was Monday Night Raw, and I am Riddler saying, "That's what I do!"
I'm Liquid Nation, depressed, still not drinking. Because that's what I do. I don't drink.
This is Raptan saying, from the moment I picked up your book until I laid it down, I was convulsed with laughter. Someday I intend reading it.
And we also have our sound engineer who's really too tired to say a damn word.
And that's what he does.
And that's what he does. We're the C-Show. That's what we do.
Goodbye!
Goodbye, internet.
Drugs, that's what I do.